We're down at Mallacoota Inlet, which is an estuary in Victoria, and we're fishing with the local young gun called Bowan. We met Bowan this year at the Reel It In Flathead competition, and young Bowan's been doing really well on the Bream on flats with Hardbodies. So we've come out with Bowan. He's going to show us around, and we try and get some Bream. So you've been doing alright on the Bream, eh?
Yeah, getting a few really good ones up on the flats.
Beautiful, mate. When we organised this last night, you mentioned about the wind. Some northerly's not the best. Any reason why, or just?
Just it gives the fish confidence with a bit more wind, but they'll still be up on the flats. They might just be a bit more finicky.
Alright, well, it's a cracking day down here. It's early January 2015. The sun's out, it's warm. Let's go find some Bream, eh, bro?
Sure thing.
Let's do it.
So, Bowen, what's the best retrieval?
Just a slow roll. Just roll it in. Just keep your rod tip down. The odd twitch and pause maybe if they're a bit finicky. But other than that, just winding it really slowly.
So when you hook up, mate, how's the best way to get it?
Just really feel until you have the fish on properly, and just slow roll up. And just try and keep as much tension with the rod as you can, otherwise you'll pull the hooks.
You brought us to fish here first. Why have you chosen this area to start the day?
Just the Bream usually hang up here in the mornings, feeding up on the flats, then coming back out as the sun comes higher, then feeding up along on the edge of the flat, just looking for prawns and stuff.
So that's fair to say you get a few flatties too, bycatch, no doubt?
Yeah, plenty of flatties usually, and
smash your lures. Smash your lures.
Yep.
Just so, what sort of hard body are you throwing around? Like, what are we throwing around today?
Just deep divers, little atomic deep divers, jackals, and other stuff like that. It's anything that's got a bigger bib, so it'll hit into the bottom.
So that's what we're working. So, yeah, Bowen's explaining, when we're retrieving, just that constant retrieve, that lure's just constantly rolling across the bottom, flicking up sand, and that's what we're trying to entice the Bream by doing that. So, we're working this flat, as Bowan said. It's just a nice big sand flat here. We've seen a few stingrays puff around and that. So, and you were mentioning too before that the Bream hang around stingrays sometimes.
Yeah, as they're feeding, the stingrays will be puffing the mud out either side, and the Bream will come in and grab what the stingrays have missed.
And that's the beauty of fishing when you're fishing with a local from Mallacoota like Bowan. You know, the information's just so valuable that it just increases your fishing knowledge and things to look for when you come to an estuary. So let's plug on with these Hardbodies and let's catch a Bream.
First one of the morning. It's a little fish, but there'll be some big ones up here. So just going to tie a blood knot. It's a pretty simple knot. Doesn't really matter what you use for the Hardbodies as long as it's something you like. Done. Ready to go out and catch another fish.
Nice bream.
Monster. First legal of the day. Caught up here on Cardinal Marker at the bottom lake. Just sit amongst all the rubble and coffee rock in them on the bottom. Just slow rolling the hard body. Probably about 30 centimetres maybe. Little yellowfin.
So while we're fishing on the flats here, does the tide have any influence at all with what we're doing?
Yeah, the bream like to come up on the high tides to feed and then recede back to the edges with the outgoing tide, so it's probably best to fish up high on the flats on the high tides.
Yep.
And back down on the edges on the low tides.
So, and what stage of the tide are we up now?
Dead low tide at the minute we're on.
Okay, so you reckon as the water comes up a bit higher, action
Fish
should
will
start picking up?
Yep, definitely.
You know? Yet again, getting the local knowledge, very, very valuable.
Yeah, 100 of them fall on it. And the little again. Yes. It's alright, I'll get him. It's only a little.
Well, it's been a rather slowish morning, but Bowan just mentioned with that wind just slightly picking up now, we should get some bites. And straight away we have. We just saw Bowan get that nice bream. Sambo just got that nice flatty. That's all it takes. The bream have been very tentative, a bit of breeze on the water, and now we're starting to get a few bites. So hopefully the bream will be coming on.
Nah, the flooding of it. No, it's flooded.
Well, Bowen's just said we see some whitecaps out in the bottom lake. The wind's picked up finally. He said the bream will start biting, and within a minute, got a nice bream. It's been tough. The last half an hour has been pretty tough fishing for us. The wind stopped. It's a nice bream boat. the size fish they are, the yellowfin, they definitely go pretty well. So, as Bowan mentioned at the start, we're using these Hardbodies just on the flats. Slow retrieve, the lure's digging into the sand, kicking up a bit, and very rewarding sort of fishing.
It's alright, I think.
Well, we've had to call it a day. You wanted a bit of wind, and what happened in the end, it blew a gale and blew us off the water. But we had a good time, Bowan. Thanks so much.
That's alright.
It's great fishing with young Bowan, as we said, local from Mallacoota. Thanks for Sammy for coming out too. We got about, what, 5 bream on the flaps?
5 bream, yeah.
With the Hardbodies, that's what we were targeting. So we got a few flaties, a few bycatch. I guess it's always the same story. Should have been here yesterday or tomorrow. This guy will come out and smash them, no doubt, and get the bigger bream like it's been getting. But we've enjoyed ourselves, and thanks a lot for showing us around and showing us bream on Hardbodies on the flats there, bud. Walking these flats here at Tamboon, rolling the Hardbodies like we did with Bowan down at Mallacoota. We've actually been catching some nice fish, and this is actually a very nice trophy fish. Rolling them across these flats, probably about 1.2 metres deep, and that, my friend, is one quality bream. No net on us, so we're trying to land it. That's a ripper fish. So we didn't catch anything like that down at Coota, but fishing with Bowan, that's the sort of size Bowan has been getting. That's got to be a fish around 40 centimetres. It's just absolute beautiful fish rolling in these flats. Absolute magic. Beautiful. Water's a little bit dirty. So we've had a really good weekend down here at Tamboon. We've been catching bream on blades, soft plastics, and also rolling these Hardbodies like we did down at Mallacoota. So whether you got a boat or not, or you just fish land-based, like we're just walking along this bank here land-based. We've actually pulled the boat up to a little bank. We've seen bream on the area, you know, darting around, and we're just flicking lures to them, and look at the quality bream that are up on these flats. So that's just a magic form of fishing, absolutely beautiful form of fishing. And remember, when you're fishing for bream with flats, don't strike. If you get a hit, you know, your reaction is quickly to have a strike. Don't do that. Just as Bowan explained on the video, just slowly roll up, and 9 times out of 10 you'll hook them just nicely. And always the best part is releasing these big, beautiful bream back in the system. Let them go do what they want to do. Thank you for the fun, young man. Thank you very much. That was a great fight. I know we mentioned it time and again, just look after your fish. Make sure they're ready to go. As we've discussed, slow roll with your Hardbody. Don't have to go fast. You've seen the footage. We know how to do it. Look for any flat, any system, any estuary that holds bream. You'll be able to catch bream just like that, and like what we caught with Bowan, with bream on the flats.